Welcome back to Tito D TV. Once again, this is Tito D. We are here on 2021 Tito D TV live interview. Long time no see, mga kabady. Medyo, matagal-tagal na tayong hindi nagkita sa live interview kasi alam niyo naman, bawal ako na magsalita. Pero now, susubukan natin na bumalik sa live interview. Siyempre, dahilan ito sa maraming fans ng ating guest sa araw na ito, si Binibining 17 ng Davao del Sur, Justine Felizarta. Welcome, Justine!
Hello! Maayong hapon sa inyong tanan.
Yes! Welcome to Tito D TV, Justine, at maayong hapon sa imo.
Thank you for having me, Tito D.
Yes, of course, you are welcome here on Tito D TV. Kumusta naman si Justine? Nasa Davao ka ba ngayon? Or
Right
nasa
now,
Manila?
I'm in Manila. So I'm staying in Manila for the meantime before we have to move back to Cubao, which is very shortly after this month. So I'm trying to take it easy here as well.
Oh. So what dialect do you usually use? Kasi di ba half Tagalog ka saka half Bisaya?
Actually, I am more fluent in Tagalog because I grew up abroad in Vancouver, Canada. So I moved when I was very young. So my Tagalog skills didn't really develop as much as I wanted to, but it was the minimum that I wanted to speak. And my parents made sure that we didn't lose that dialect. However, because I was still so young and trying to learn Tagalog, parang hindi nila, they weren't able to teach me Bisaya. So unfortunately, Tagalog's the only dialect that I could speak, and English. And I'm trying to learn Bisaya every now and then from my friends, my mom, every time I try to read something. So I'm picking up a little bit.
Oh, saan ka pala sa Davao?
Sa Padada po. So it's a small province, but that's where my mom was born and raised. So we would always go back there to for holidays, to visit family. And even when we moved to Vancouver, we would try to make the trip out of there every year.
How about in Quezon? Saan ka naman sa Quezon province?
Quezon, my dad is from, I know my dad is from Polillo, like my dad's mom. Yes, but my dad grew up in Metro Manila. So there we would always visit in Antipolo. They're kind of a bit scattered everywhere.
Kailan naman ikaw umuwi dito sa Pilipinas? Since
When
you
did
were
here?
since you were living in Canada.
So when I moved here at 6 years old, we didn't move back until 3 years after, because by then we were kind of settled in and we had enough money to fly all 6 of us back to Philippines. So our first trip here, it was a very short trip, but the only time that I stayed here longer was 2015. So that was the first time I joined Binibining Pilipinas. I was here 2 years prior to that because I needed to train. And then after I competed, I decided to go back home. So I was here in the Philippines for 2 years. And then once that journey kind of ended in that sense, I moved back to Canada to finish my studies. And then I went back 2019. So I've been here since 2019 na po.
Oh, but your mom and your dad is presently living in Canada, not here in Manila.
Yes, my immediate family is actually back in Canada because of course the pandemic and it's hard to fly back home, and that's where they work and that's where their home base is right now.
Oh. Siguro once the pandemic is over, bibisita ako sa Davao.
Yes.
Alam mo ba yung Tito Ed, 99 pesos pa rin ba doon yung yung eat all you can? Kumakain kasi ako doon.
Tito Ed, I'm actually not familiar with that because usually when we go to Davao, my mom would make we would have home dinners, so they would bring ihaw sa bahay and we would do like the table. And then my tito kasi he's a chef, so he would be the one making fresh foods, mga pusit, tuna, and mga fruits. Yung talagang kinakain namin.
Well, that's good. Pero ako naman, mahilig akong kumain sa mga eat all you can sa Davao, kagaya nga ng Tito Ed, kasi 99 pesos lang,
Yeah.
kompleto na.
Talaga? Sige, next time I go there, I will definitely check out Tito Ed.
Yes,
Para,
and another one is yung medyo social naman sa Nanay Bebeng. The last time I went there, it's about 250 pesos per head.
pero this is eat all you can din.
Eat all you can too.
Yeah. Okay. Para sulit naman. At least busog.
Oo, pero sosyal. Sosyalan naman dun sa Nanay Bebeng. Unlike dun sa Tito Ed, parang it's a must, pangmasa, yung kainan. Pero
Okay.
syempre sulit din.
Yes. I think anything in Davao, sulit talaga. Kasi fresh lahat ng
Oo.
din. Yeah.
Kaya, excuse me, talagang inuubo ako. Pasensya. Kaya pag pumupunta talaga ako ng Davao, mahilig ako ng eat all you can kasi mura ang eat all you can doon. Even sa Cebu, pag
Yes.
pumunta ka ng Cebu, mura din ang eat all you can nila doon.
Okay, yeah, those are definitely some spots I'm gonna try once this pandemic kind of eases out, and hopefully I can travel back. So
Nakakaloka, ako pa yung nagturo sa iyo sa Davao.
yeah, because in Davao del Sur, it's different, but you're talking about Davao City, right? So kasi
Yes.
we would from
Malayo ba yung sa inyo sa Davao City? Yung sinabi mong lugar mo, Padadap?
It's an hour and a half away.
So
as soon as we land, we would drive all the way to Davao del Sur na kasi we want to avoid being, in the dark or traffic and on. So we try to just travel all the way. And then whenever we want to get out to excursions, we would go to Digos. And then Sabros, kind of experience that side of the city. But we mainly stay in Padada talaga kasi obviously my mom's family is there and we seldom see them. So we want to spend as much time with them kahit wala kaming ginagawa. We just really want to spend time with family sa province.
Oo, saka ang ganda-ganda talaga sa Davao.
Exactly, yeah. So the Davao City, I'm still trying to experience that, but because most of the time we're in Davao del Sur.
Yeah. During pandemic, during the lockdown, where did you stay? Sa Davao ba or here in Manila?
Here in Manila. So I actually moved around a little bit because before the pandemic started, I was in Cubao, of course, close to Araneta City. Tapos after that, when I figured that this pandemic was going to prolong more than 3 months, I decided to move to the BGC area because a lot of my friends were there. So I just kind of wanted to stay more connected because, of course, nalulungkot din ako after mga 3 months of being locked down inside my condo by myself. So I was able to go naman once the GCQ happened. I moved to BGC and then I stayed here until then. So I would go back and forth every now and then because my family is actually also in Marikina. So whenever I could see my family, I would go to visit there and then back to BGC for all my trainings.
Oh, malapit lang ang Marikina sa Cubao.
Yes. So it's quite close. Everything is quite close in distance, especially now. Wala nang traffic usually, so it's not the usual 3 hours that you'd have to prepare for, diba? So it's easier for me to actually transit from one place to another.
Yes, and alam mo ba, yung Marikina ay malapit lang din sa bahay namin.
Talaga po? So we're neighbors pala.
Yes, kasi sa bundok ako nakatira.
Okay. Masarap yung puto doon.
Oo, ang dami sa Marikina yung mga puto-puto.
Yung puto, yung rellenong bangos.
Rellenong bangos.
Yes, that's my favorite there.
Sarap, no?
Yeah.
Oo, masarap yung rellenong bangos.
Kahit ulam lang, kasi hindi ako maka-rice. So kahit ulam lang, carry na.
Oo nga. Kahit kainin mo lang siya mismo, yung relleno na bangos, okay na kahit no rice.
Diba? Oo. So,
masarap. O kaya lagyan mo nga ng puto. Masarap. Ang sarap ng puto kasing maliliit na kulay brown.
Yeah.
Oo, di ba?
Yeah, kasi rice na siya eh. So, pwede din ma-substitute.
Yeah, okay. For the benefits of our audience, pwede ka ba namin na makilala ng higit?
Sure, of course. I would love to
Yes, please.
Yes. Hello?
Yes, please.
Sorry.
Can you tell something about you?
Okay. I thought you were asking a question. Yeah, so for the most part, a lot of people already know who I am and where my background is, of course, in Binibining Pilipinas. I've said it. I am born here in the Philippines, but of course, I moved abroad when I was 6 so that my parents could give us more opportunities to study as well. And when I was in Vancouver, so I was pretty much raised there. I've gone back to Philippines a few times to visit. But the second time around, when I actually wanted to finish my studies there, I took medical aesthetics. So I started working there for 5 years. The 5 year gap or 4 year gap that I did from 2015 to 19, I worked at a medical aesthetics lab. So I was able to treat skin ailments and really hone in on my passions in that realm. And then I was thinking about joining Binibini for quite some time now, but I wanted to make sure that I was ready with experience and I was more mature because I think that plays such a big role when you're joining such a big pageant like Binibini. And then when I decided and felt that I was ready, I just decided to fly back home just last year. And then I submitted my application for the 2020 batch. But then, of course, because of the pandemic, we were put on hold for a year, which has its pros and cons. But now we are in the 2021 batch. So
How old are you now?
I am 26.
26. Then you will be 27 on
February
next
20.
year?
So very, very close.
This coming February.
Yes. So I'm turning
February?
23.
Oh! So 26 ka o 27 is coming 23?
I will be 27 this coming February 23.
Oh, 27. Okay, at least I know it.
Yeah.
Anyway, batiin muna natin yung ating mga audience, ang ating mga fans na nandito.
Hi,
Ayan,
City.
pakibati mo sila, please.
I love her because she's really supportive talaga with my whole journey. So thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you, City. Another one.
Hi, Krisa. Kamusta ka? She's my admin for the Justine Mermaid. So, diba? Ang ganda ng name.
Oo nga. Hello, Krisa. Nakakatuwa nga kanina, tiningnan ko, admin na din ako. Hindi ko alam kung sino yung gumawa ng admin ako sa GCC. Kaya thank you so much sa kanila kung sino yung nag-appoint sa akin. Hindi ko pa alam, tinanong ko nga si Vin. Sabi ko, sino kaya nag-appoint sa akin? Kasi hindi ko alam. So, thank you sa nag-appoint sa akin. Another one.
Hi, Martinez. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Alan Lloyd Martinez. Yan, binati ko din niya. Hi, Ate Justine.
Hello.
Si Vince.
Hi, Vince. Kamusta? I hope you're doing
well. Ang pretty mo daw. Ang pretty mo daw.
Bloom blush. Wow.
Kagwapa daw.
Hi, Krisa. Ang bait naman ng mga comments.
Si Lloyd.
Hello. Thank you. Salamat.
Si City ulit.
Hello, City. Hello din, Queen. I hope you're doing
si
well.
De Leon, Leo.
Hi, De Leon. Kamusta ka?
Oy, nasa GC din siya. Ano?
Yes. These names are very familiar to me. I see them a lot there.
Oo, nakikita ko din yung name niya doon.
Yes, just in time. This is my hashtag and motto for ever since I joined. So, and I believe in it.
Another one.
Hi, Kenneth. Kamusta ka? Friends, I hope you're
Kagwapa.
Kenneth.
Another one.
Hello. Hi, Akwe.
Ake Mariano. Ako din nahihirapan ng bigkas, ha?
Hello.
Hello. Ayun na si Beans. Miss Grand Philippines 2021.
Yes. Yun ang wish, yun ang goal.
Ay, may tanong si Leo De Leon.
Do you have your clinic wish to pay a visit for consultation? I do not have a clinic right now, but I am always here if you need advice or questions pertaining to skin. So don't be afraid to reach out kasi I love to give out skin advice and those that I can help kasi passion ko talaga siya. So just slide in my DMs and ask away. I'm more than happy to help.
So about skin pala yung iyong pinag-aralan.
Yes, so it's skin and aesthetics.
Kaya pala ang ganda-ganda mo.
Thank you. It's a lot of hard work, but if you're passionate about it, kaya.
Alam mo bang yun ang kauna-unahan kong napansin sa'yo sa IG? Sabi ko, ang ganda naman ng bata na to, sabi ko. Sino ba to? Tapos syempre nakikita ko nga, Binibini number 17. Sabi ko, ang ganda-ganda naman siya. Para siyang Latina.
Thank you. Well, I have to thank my parents as well, because of course, they gave me my face. It's a lot of skincare din.
Sabi ko nga, kamukha mo si yung lumaban ng Miss Earth na Venezuela. Nalimutan ko pangalan. Pero kahawig mo talaga siya. Yung manda na sexy.
Thank you.
Oo, sobrang sexy. Sabi ko kahawig na kahawig mo. Nalimutan ko pangalan niya.
I'm always flattered when people tell me who I look like. Hello, Louise. Kamusta?
She is watching from New Zealand.
Oh, hello. I hope that you
of mine. Well there. She is a nurse in New Zealand.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for all your hard work then.
Sabi niya, hi Justine, is trash talking normal in beauty pageant? Ay, may tanong pala siya sa'yo. O yan.
Is trash normal? It shouldn't be normal. Honestly, beauty pageants are all about uplifting and empowering one another. Even though it's a competition, we're all there for one goal, and we're also there to better ourselves as people. And if you're going to bring down others, you're honestly just going to remove energy from becoming the best version of yourself. So it depends on the individual. But for most that I've encountered, trash talking I've never experienced. They can probably do it behind my back or each other's back, but it hasn't happened. I don't think so. We're all about supporting one another. And of course, you can't please everyone, but for the most part, I would say no.
Okay. Ayan, Luis, nasagot na yung question mo. O sa mga gustong mag-question, pwede kayong mag-tanong dyan sa baba. Huwag nyo lang pahirapan si Justine. Pero pwede rin later on. Matalino si Justine. Magaling yan sa Inglesan. Kaya pahirapan nyo na.
Pwede din. Oh my gosh. I like challenges. I like pressure.
Nako, kakabahan na yan. Okay. It's more than a year na since na pumasok kayo sa Binibining Pilipinas, di ba?
Yes.
Parang it's Binibining Pilipinas 2020 is the longest pageant ever.
The longest reigning candidate. So we've already made history, which is a bonus, I think. We'd never forget this. But my official day actually was February 7. So that's when
1 year na nga.
That's when I became Binibini 17.
Kaya tumanda na kayo ng 1 taon sa Binibining Pilipinas, no?
Yes, I know. We've celebrated so many birthdays actually, and it's kind of an inside joke in the group kasi parang, wow, we're gonna celebrate both birthdays kasi usually 1 year of birthdays lang, di ba? Pero pandemic, we're really, we're doing it all over again.
So how do you feel about the some of your fellow candidates na hindi na qualified dun sa 3 title kagaya ng Miss International kasi 27 lang ang Miss International. Yung Miss Intercontinental naman hanggang 26 years old lang naman. So meron na hindi makakapasok doon. Tapos yung Miss Grand International 27. Oo, at tanging Miss Globe na lang yung pwede para sa kanila. So ano yung na-feel mo sa kanila?
Of course, I feel for them because as a candidate myself, and if I put myself in their shoes, I've also invested a lot of time, effort, and money into making sure that I'm qualified for these pageants, and it takes more than a year to prepare. So mentally and physically, it could be draining. But I think what hurts more is emotional because you've invested not just with yourself, but with so many supporters, your family, and just to see that happen to them, of course, like I want to reach out to them and say, no, maybe there's better things for you. Maybe God has bigger things for you. But I do feel for them, and I know that it's going to take some time to adjust to accept. But as long as, we're still here uplifting them and hopefully no one is bashing them right now and just supporting them, it'll be an easier acceptance and transition as well. But I know it's definitely not easy to hear that news, because I wouldn't even know how to feel if someone told me that right now, diba? Because this is a chance of a lifetime, and to be stripped away from that just like that, without out of your control, it's hard. So as much as possible, you have to really surround yourself with people who will support you and tell you, there's better things for you that's meant for you.
Yes, kahit ako nung nalaman ko, sabi ko, nalulungkot talaga ako sa totoo lang sa mga candidate natin na nag-overage na sa ilang mga title ng Binibining Pilipinas. Are you there? Justine? Nakahang lang po si Justine for a moment. She will be back later on. Ayun, nakahang lang po siya. Hello, are you in? Yeah, naghang ka. You're back. Hello?
Are you?
Hello? Nawawala ka, Ate Jazz.
Hello? Lagging.
Yan, okay na. Ayan, okay na. Oo, naghahang ka kanina. May taga-USA dito na bumati sa'yo. Si Mark Xiaoy. Hello? Justine?
Hello?
Hello? You there? Ayan, okay na.
I'm here. Sorry, I'm not sure what's happening to my side over here with the internet, but it keeps coming out.
Oo, ganyan talaga ang internet. Lalo na last year, ganyan din kami nagkakaproblema sa mga live interview namin.
Oh, yes. I hope I can bear with you for another.
Yan, okay na naman. Medyo okay na. Pero last year, during MUP interview ko nga, yan ang lagi namin problema, internet.
Yes, it is definitely an obstacle right now. With
yes,
especially with online schooling. That's why I can't imagine doing online schooling right now.
Yeah, yun ang problema sa Pilipinas. Okay, back to usapan natin sa pageant.
Yes.
Natutuwa ako para kay Sam Bernardo kasi luckily, na-appoint siya, di ba, sa Miss Grand International 2020 at hindi na siya lalaban ng Binibining Pilipinas 2020. Kasi kung lalaban siya, kasi 28 years old na siya, Miss Globe na lang din yung matitira sa kanya, di ba?
Yes, yes.
So ano yung naramdaman mo nung nalaman mo na si Sam Bernardo ay isi-send ng Binibining Pilipinas sa Miss Grand International 2020?
I was super thrilled and excited for her. I know Sam's history of pageants and that this is her third try. So it's an understatement to say that she's ready. Because we all know what she's capable of and what she's, what she can bring to the grand stage. So of course, as we're trying to root for the Philippines, and I want to be part of that support. I'm super happy because I know she won't let us down and she'll really represent us in the best way possible. So she's more than ready, and I'm excited to see her perform on the international stage.
Yes, exactly. Kahit ako talaga, sabi ko, tuwan-tuwa din ako nung nalaman ko yon. Although nalungkot naman ako para kay Aya, pero abangan natin soon.
Exactly, yeah. But I know she's definitely preparing for it right now, and she's more than ready. So, yeah.
Yes, at may mga pasabog daw sila. Malaman nyo na lang, very soon.
For those as well. So I'm excited to see what they have in store for us.
Yes. Alam mo naman, ganun talaga ang buhay. Okay, this question is point of view. So, what is your point of view? Or hindi ito yung question na direct question to you, pero point of view lang ito ha. This is my question. What is your point of view about sending Delegate by Binibining Pilipinas to Miss Grand International while on Miss Globe refused to?
Okay. As a candidate, of course, I feel like we are all in the same level. We're all in the same playing field, you know? We are in the same contract and we are in the same batch. So it is quite shocking to not just me, but to a lot of girls when news like this comes out. But again, I know that Binibining Pilipinas knows what's best for their organization and for what's happening at the moment. So with the Miss Globe one, I am happy for Rowie because, of course, again, she is extremely talented, intelligent, and ready to compete on the national stage. And she's also a Binibini sister. So if she's represented us really well. But it just saddens me that parang they weren't really clear as to how it happened. And then with Sam, of course, the same goes for her. We're all rooting for her and excited for her. And they kind of came out. So for me, I am not in the position. But in terms with Rowie and Sam, of course, I would feel for their confusion and for the same level of exposure that they've had. But regardless, I think we've given them justice and congratulating them and making sure that they've felt the love from all the supporters, whether it's from the bloggers, the fans, or just, you know, all their friends and families on social media. So it all turned out well naman. But I think communication lang was the problem for a little bit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Although nakakatuwa talaga si Rui, baklang-bakla. Alam mo yun?
I know, and she's honestly like I look up to her when it comes to performing and dancing because I think she's actually a trained dancer, so she knows how to express herself. And we call her like the Beyonce and the J of the group. So saktong-sakto talaga ang Miss Globe for her.
Oo, saka during Binibining Pilipinas, nung nag-start kayo sa Binibining Pilipinas, hindi kami ganun ka-close ni Rowie. Pero nung lumaban na siya ng Miss Globe, doon kami naging close na, ay, baklang-baklang makipag-usap pala itong si Rowie. Nakakatuwa. Natutuwa ako sa kanya.
Energetic, and honestly, she's just so fun to be with, you know?
Yeah. Yung, ang saya-saya niya kausap, na puro tawa lang ng tawa.
Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely like that, especially in the group. Parang ano siya Miss Congeniality, super friendly with everyone.
Oo nga, yun nga. Yun ang nakakatuwa talaga kay Rowie. Na nakilala ko lang siya during Miss Globe na nga lang. Nung sa Miss Globe na.
Okay. Yeah,
tapos yun nga, nagpasalamat siya sa akin. Nakakatuwa talaga siya. Okay. What particular title in Binibining Pilipinas would you like to achieve and why?
I think everyone knows this because I've been so vocal about it, Tito D. But it's definitely the Miss Grand International 2021 title. Just because, you know, I obviously studied all the crowns, like Miss International, Miss Intercon, and Miss Globe, and of course Miss Grand. And it was the pageant that I was most drawn to, just in terms of performance and the countries that they send as well. But it's kind of Miss Universe caliber, which is something that I've always watched growing up, you know, very Victoria's Secret model, but the women are so empowered and confident at the same time with a voice. And I think that's why I was so empowered and drawn to wanting that title. For Miss International as well, of course, the highest title amongst the crowns today. But I think it's just the packaging. I've always seen myself a little bit more on the runway side, whereas Miss International is a bit more on the conservative and traditional, in my opinion, I think. So if ever, you know, again, a crown is a crown, and I would be so honored to represent the Philippines. I think it's just in terms of packaging and styling and what is going to bring out the girls' potential and how we're actually going to win that international crown. But for now, I think I'm most suited and I can see myself competing for the Miss Grand International crown.
But what is your second choice?
My second choice would definitely be Miss International.
Oh, ayos. Pero totoo yung sinabi mo na yung Miss Grand International is like Miss Universe.
Yes, yes. And the more I watch it on YouTube or online, you really see that performance aspect of it. And it's a show, you know, they're really there to entertain people.
Yes, exactly. May tanong dito si Beans. Pinahirapan ka na.
Yes. What is the question? This pandemic has made clear our priorities, essential and non-essential. Where do pageants stand in this time of sacrifices? Thank you so much for that question, Vince. But pageants in the Philippines, of course, mostly, is such a big aspect in our community, in our social life. So I think pageants are still quite relevant right now because with everything being online, it's a source of light and it's a source of hope for everyone watching, because it shows that the girls who are still in it are not giving up on their dreams, are still working hard for it despite of what's been taken away from them. It's just a shift of mindset and a little bit of perspective as well in pushing in what you really want to do. But I think it's a very strong time for pageants right now because people are online, people are all on social media. So if you're able to maximize your voice, given this platform of pageants, then you can really make an impact, especially now that we've gone through the typhoons, like the recent typhoons that has happened here in the Philippines. Me and my friends were able to actually use the platform, use our voices to help out, even though we know that there's a lot of restrictions. We were able to use social media and our voices as beauty queens to help out in a bigger and better way than we could have ever imagined, even without the pandemic. So I think it's a matter of shifting your mindset and telling yourself that you can actually still make this platform bigger and better to use your voice. And it's really relevant in today's society.
Oh, ayan, Benz. Nasagot ka na. Nadakdakan ka.
Yeah, and it's like you have idols in your life, and like I think beauty queen serves as idols. I for sure have idols in my life, and whenever I look at them doing good or being hopeful, it inspires me to also be the change that I want to be. Because if they can do it, then I can do it. Because we're all humans. It's just a shift in mindset and who you can connect to help you out, make that vision happen for you.
Very good. Another one from Henry Misahon Season Arimas.
Hi, Henry. What is the most challenging thing that happened to you during this pandemic time as a Binibining Pilipinas candidate? Well, Henry, there was definitely many obstacles. I can say there's probably a list, but I think the most would have to be focusing on the things that I can actually control rather than not control, because I am quite an overthinker and I like to plan things ahead. But because of this pandemic, of course, it's a standstill and planning ahead doesn't seem very timely right now. You kind of have to go on a day-to-day basis. So for me, it was really trying to focus on how I can make myself better mentally and emotionally, being so isolated from family and friends, and using this time to become the best version of myself so that I can actually radiate that positivity and hope to other people who need it as well. So it's really all about mental strength for me, which was really challenging. But I think I've gotten used to a routine, gotten used to, reading self-help books in which can really help me like that, and staying connected to people that I know will also support me. So it's all about mental strength, mental fortitude, and just being able to say, if I can't do it, if that's out of my control, don't fixate on it, because you're just wasting your energy talaga. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Henry, for the question. He is watching from Bukidnon.
Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in, Henry.
Mark is watching from Texas.
Hi, Super Bowl champions. Ano niya? I missed the Super Bowls actually. All I see on Instagram are the performances of the weekend. So I think I'll watch that later.
Oo nga, ayun nga, sabi nga niya, congratulations Tampa Bay Buccaneers for winning the Super Bowl
Congratulations.
championship.
Guys must be so thrilled.
Ang hilig niya pala doon.
Dito naman sa profile picture, Tito.
Hindi ko napapansin yung mga profile, sorry. Another one.
Hi, Ace John. Kumusta? Thank you for watching.
Taga-ano naman siya, he's watching from Catanduanes.
Hello.
Bata pa yan, elementary pa lang yan.
Ay, talaga? Oh my gosh. I hope to meet you.
Tapos, I think it was yesterday, nag-chat siya sa akin, Tito D, may live ka pala? Sabi ko, oo. Sabi niya, manunood po ako.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm so happy when people tune in because, of course, it's also their time, right? And I love just being able to show who I am and also just having a conversation with them. So thank you.
Oo, nakakatuwa yung bata niyo. Pero in all fairness ha, nasalanta sila ng bagyo.
Mm, I know
O, di
there's a
ba?
lot more hit.
Katanduanes.
Yeah,
Kaya,
there.
hopefully, okay na sila talaga doon. Kasi the last time, wala silang signal.
Yeah, that's really hard. They've lost a lot of basic necessities. So I hope everything is a lot better and you're still with your family. Stay safe.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you prepare for Binibining Pilipinas 2020 despite that we are in the midst of pandemic?
I'm still pretty much doing the same that I've done before, but it's more remote now. So instead of going out as often as I did for training, I would try to do everything within the premises of my house or the building. In terms of gym, we have YouTube nowadays. There are so many websites that you can follow, so that's easier to do at home or in your home gym. And then in terms of Q&A, again, so thankful for technology because there's everything that you can Google under the sun. And you can also reach out. And I reach out to a lot of my friends and mentors who have also gone through pageants for help with Q&A. And then Pasarela, I do training sometimes here in my own hallway, or I'll go to a studio once a while just to train. But of course, there's going to be no one there, so it's safe for me as well. And then I just read a lot of books because I try to inform myself and educate myself as much as possible. Because again, as a beauty queen, you're always asked pretty much anything, and I want to make sure that I'm informed in the least possible way, so I know a little bit about everything. And it also keeps me occupied as well, instead of just kind of going through social media, which can be a little bit draining at times if you're just only on social media. So it's a little bit of a balance. So I try to do all of that. And then at the same time, I try to have some me time because it's so important that I'm not consumed on talaga with pageant training because, my mentors have told me you have to make sure that you're doing stuff that you still enjoy kasi at the same time, it'll help you enjoy and relax with your journey na hindi ka super, super gigil. So what I try to do is I try to do skincare. I take time to do my skincare. I karaoke for fun. I do dance training. Yung mga ganon, spend time with some friends when I can and do yoga.
Yes. Saka mas maluwag na kasi ngayon. Unlike noong last year, naku pa, hirapan kami sa mga training, yung mga Miss Universe Philippines candidate, hirap na hirap sila. Naawa ako.
You really have to find a way out of everything, because if you have the will, you can make it happen. Because I know, like what I said, like if you have space outside, you can do a pasarela walk outside. It's just about motivation and if you're willing to do it.
Yeah. Sir Well is watching from Pangasinan.
Hi, Ruel. And thank you so much. I'm also hoping and praying for that. So I wish to represent the Philippines talaga this year. So let's fingers crossed.
Lagi ang nanonood ng ating live.
Talaga po.
Lagi nakasuporta yan si Ruel, pero taga Pangasinan yan. Natutuwa ako.
Thank you so much for your support. I'm also happy to be.
Yeah. Binabasa ko lang yung tanong ni Vince. Baka mamaya mahirapan ka. May tanong na naman si Vince kasi. Okay, bahala. Kaya mo daw yan. Ang haba? Nawala tuloy ako sa ano?
Wala. Vince, parang judge ka na, ha?
Ang kulit ni Vince.
What is the best thing that you can think of from Philippines to tell the Miss Grand, International, and the rest of the world why? The best thing that we can think of, I would definitely say, is the people. We have some of the most hardworking and the most supportive and resilient people ever. And I think it goes to show just with our OFWs, we travel so far, we work so hard, we sacrifice just to provide for our families. And even in this pandemic, there's a lot of OFWs that have been repatriated, and I know that's been hard for them. But what I can say is that they still have that grit and that motivation to keep working for their families. So they're finding ways that they can use their skills here in the Philippines so that they can keep providing for their family. And I think that's what makes us so great, is because we never stop working and we never lose hope like in this pandemic, we all found a way to have a business, which is baking at home and selling it, you know? And there's not a lot of places in the world where you can say that, because we really have that motivation to make sure that we're surviving, just not for ourselves, but for our families. So that's definitely one of the best things that you can say about the Philippines is its people.
Great. My question si Mark.
When is your pageant? So our pageant is April 17, 2021. So it's very soon. Parang ano na siya, 2 months na lang. It's so weird because this whole time that we're waiting seemed like a very long drag, but now that it's approaching, parang ang bilis na ng oras.
Oo, totoo.
Yeah, so we're all definitely feeling that excitement again to be back in Araneta. I'm definitely excited to get back there, step foot on the stadium and Araneta City itself, just to bring back those old memories and feel like a binibini again.
But do you think pageant and pandemic is necessary?
Sorry, do I think?
Do you think pageant and pandemic is necessary?
I mean, when you say necessary is, for me, is like having food, having water, having a job on the table, you know? I think
Yes.
and I think pageants in general is just such a source of hope right now, you know? With everything that's going on, we need an outlet to kind of release what is happening in the world, the darkness that we feel and the stress that we feel. But when you see pageants, there's so much light in it that it kind of gives you more motivation, more hope to keep dreaming, to keep pushing that this too shall pass because of the message that we're sending. So I can't say that it's necessary per se, but I do know that it's definitely helpful for how we're going to come about this and how we're going to be more hopeful and be more motivated at this time.
Okay, so what necessary precautions do you up to in the upcoming coronation night of Binibining Pilipinas in April? Since we're in the pandemic.
Of course, they're the protocols that we've been repeating over and over again. And it's pretty much social distancing, making sure that we wear our masks, our face shields, and it's those simple things, and making sure that we're always sanitizing as well. You know, prevention is the biggest thing right now. And being that we're in a pageant, we're going to be in close proximity with one another. And I think they've had it figured out, and they're preparing for us to be able to follow protocols and still have an entertaining show. And I know that it's possible because we've had Miss Universe Philippines do it, and it was successful on their end. So I know that Binibining Pilipinas can also do the same. And of course, as an organization, they are always looking out for the safety of the girls, of the staff, and of the people around that area. So we're definitely going to take precaution the best way possible. But again, it's pretty much the same from what we've been doing from the very start.
Yes. At marami tayong mga pageant fans ang nanonood sa'yo at makakapanood pa sa'yo. So ano yung aasahan namin sa koronasyon ng Binibining Pilipinas?
For the Binibining Pilipinas night, just know that I will definitely do my very best and that there's going to be a lot of pasabog because, of course, as you know, Miss Grand International is all about performance. A lot of people do see me as shy and a little bit more introverted, but I can guarantee you that on stage, when that fire is lit inside me, I will definitely put on that show.
May audience ba?
The audience, I can't confirm that as of now because we also aren't told as candidates. But given that we're trying to be safe as well, I honestly don't think there will be, unless we find a way to be able to separate or have enough people that's also social distance and safe. Yeah.
Pero hindi virtual.
Again, we have no information as of now. We only know that we will be back sometime March and then also April for the finals night. So the updates will come from Binibining Pilipinas themselves, and hopefully we will able to clarify everything. Because as a candidate as well, I also want to know, because of course I would want my family and friends to watch it, whether it's live or online. I'd want to tell them where to watch it so they can support me as well.
Yes, saka alam mo ba, ibang-iba kasi noon kaysa ngayon na yung family mo, baka mga friends mo, pwede mong dalhin sa Araneta Tapos magsisigawan sila, Justine, Justine! Di ba?
The adrenaline of a pageant, you know. It's like, as soon as you step foot on that stage, you already hear people screaming and you feel their energy. So you're vibing off of that adrenaline. So there's things that you'll probably do on stage that you didn't even practice because parang you just felt it that time, right? So I think this time around, the biggest challenge is having an internal audience and showing that on the camera.
Saka it adds confidence to the candidate. Di
Exactly,
ba?
yeah.
Pag nakita mo nandiyan, ay, yan si Mami, yan si Daddy, di ba? O, di ba?
Yes.
Confidence
It
ka.
will take practice to have that vision of an audience in your head lang.
Yeah. Assuming that I am a judge, how will you convince me in 30 seconds that you are the right lady to win one title of Binibining Pilipinas 2020?
Okay. Well, thank you for the question. Well, I have been a person that knows who I am and that knows what I can carry on an international stage. And I have grown up to have a wider perspective in life, given that I have lived the best of both worlds. But I think I can carry that on an international stage because I can relate to the cultures and I know what I have and who I am. And that is going to show through my performance and what I say in my heart as well.
What is your advocacy, by the way?
My advocacy is for overseas Filipino workers and shining light on their journeys as well. Of course, given that my experience as an OFW daughter, I have more experience on how I'm going to tell that story.
Oh, so ano, but how social media nowadays affect your advocacy?
With social media, I'm actually a volunteer for Center for Migrant Advocacy, and our community group is actually quite active. So we help a lot of the OFWs being repatriated back here in the Philippines from their home workplaces, so Dubai, the US sometimes, and we just kind of communicate on how they're going to go about it in a safe way. Social media definitely helps because it gives them a way to actually reach out to us and stay connected as opposed to going through the government agencies who might not be able to see their call for help. But because of a smaller non-NGO, it's definitely easier for them to reach out and we see their help and then we can be the lobbyists for the government agencies as well. So the company or the NGO that I'm working for is working very, very hard and I'm just thrilled to be even helping out there.
Wow, galing-galing mo talagang sumagot. Nai-impress na ako.
Thank you so much.
Parang ibibigay ko na sa'yo yung crown ng Miss Grand International kasi yun ang favorite mo.
Yes, I am trying to, reel it in slowly.
Yes, pero bago yan, meron akong tatlong question. I have 3 questions here. It's political, it's current event, it's casual question.
Okay.
The first question is, as a beauty queen, how will you boost the confidence of the Filipino people to have COVID vaccine?
As a beauty queen, again, I'm always pro-choice, and it's still up to the individual to see if they are ready to take the vaccines. But I know that this is for the safety of the communities, the safety of the people around them, and we wouldn't be advocating for these vaccines if we know that it wasn't good for them. So what I would say is think of the family, think of your family, think of your community, and think of how you're going to be of help if you take that vaccine, and it's going to be a lighter situation for most people, right? But at the same time, you have to make sure you are educating yourself and that you are going through the process in the right possible way, and that you are not just going about it because somebody told you to. It's still all about choice, and I think as long as you are preventing and using the protocols that we have now, that's also as big as getting the vaccine.
Galing talaga. Next. What is your sight toward the situation in Myanmar right now?
What is
your sight toward the situation in Myanmar right now?
Right now, of course, I've only been hearing it just recently, and I'm not one to say if I'm fully informed on it because at the same time, there's not a lot of content that they are releasing. But I do feel for the people and for the community there because it's a big change and a big shock to what's happening. and I could only imagine what they're going through right now. And I just hope that government leaders in general, are able to put their differences aside and finally find some communication, some common ground to make sure that they're actually looking out for their people and not for themselves. Because at the end of the day, you are a leader because the people trust you and look up to you to see what's best for them. And if you can't even do that, then the unity in that country is lost. So I just hope, for their sake and for everyone's sake in the world, that people are uniting and putting their differences aside, especially in a pandemic. It's already so hard to go through with this, let alone another problem like that.
Yeah, yung question yan, baka matanong yan sa BBP or sa Miss Grand International.
Yes.
Kasi medyo ano siya ngayon. Siya yung pinag-uusapan. Anyway, okay. At least, naitanong ko sa'yo, pwede mong paghandaan yan.
Okay.
Yes. What is one big lesson you've learned from this pandemic?
What is the biggest lesson I've learned in this pandemic?
Yes.
I can't really say that there's one biggest lesson, because it has been progress for me. You know, like every single month that it goes on, there is something new that I learned, and it's quite big for me as well. But I think at the moment, it would have to be gaining that mental fortitude on having the balance of being able to stay connected to one another and being that beauty queen, to stay positive and giving out that hope, but also at the same time still trying to become the best version of myself without losing sight of what's actually important and what's necessary. So I think a lot of us have actually realized what's more important now. We reinvented ourselves, and I think that that's what's going to make the progressive years even better, because we're trying to be more compassionate with one another. We know who we are, and we know what's actually more important.
Okay. Galing! Ayan yung tatlong question ko. Pero, meron naman akong games. Pero bago yan, bago tayo mag-games, i-entertain muna natin ang tanong ni Tito Jerry Ortega. He is watching from Barcelona, Spain.
Hi, Tito Jerry. Since your advocacy is OFW, why are Filipinos called OFW while all the rest are called expats? With this question, I know we are called OFWs because, of course, we are Filipino citizens trying to go to a different place to work temporarily. But I think in my understanding, expats are not only Filipinos. We are also, there's a lot of other races that are underneath the category of expats. So that's why we have our own category of overseas Filipino workers. And it doesn't go with one another. I hope I said that right.
Okay. Si Jenny, binabati ka. Thank you pala, Tito Jerry, for the question.
Hi, Jenny. Kumusta?
Si Tito Jerry ay father ni Miss Universe Philippines Albay.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Yeah, si Tito Jerry. Kilala mo si Paula Ortega?
Yes, I've heard of her. Yes.
Father niya yan. Nasa Spain.
Hello, Paul. Thank you for that. It's kind of challenging, but I will get back to you with more of an answer to that as soon as I ask my mentors as well there. Of course, I'm still learning.
Okay. So, okay na tayo dyan. Wala na tayong mga question. Games na lang tayo.
Okay.
Ready ka sa games?
Yes, I think so.
Kasi 5:54 na eh. Magi-games tayo. 3 lang naman tong games ko.
Okay.
So, madali lang. 3 question lang, yung games ko. So, question lang din siya. Madali lang. Ewan ko kung si Vince ay nanonood pa at patatawarin ko yan.
Okay.
Bawal lang yung quotes.
Okay.
No coaching. Baka i-chat ka kaagad ni Vince.
Oo nga, no? Sabihin ko, what's this game all about?
Tatlong question yung tatanong ko. Kapag nakuha mo yung 3 tanong ko, ikaw ang Miss Grand International ko.
Talaga ba? Okay, I'm ready.
Pero pag 2 ang nakuha mo, ikaw ang Miss International ko.
Okay.
Pag isa lang, ikaw ang Miss Intercontinental ko. Although, sa age 26 lang yata sila eh.
Yeah. Miss Globe?
Hindi ko ibibigay, pag wala kang nasagot, hindi ko ibibigay sa iyo yung Miss Globe kasi nabili na ni Bem yung title.
Oo nga.
Okay. Kaya pag wala kang nasagot, 0, wala. Wala kang title.
Runner-up ba? Charot. Hindi. Gusto ko may
Ilalagay kita sa number 10.
Gusto ko may title. Okay, ready ako. Ano ba
Okay,
to?
so ready ka dapat, ha?
Mm-hmm.
3 lang naman to. Napakadali. Sobrang napakadali. Hoy, bawal ang coaching Beans, ha? Tawa ng tawa na si Beans. Si Beans, tawa ng tawa. Ha, 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 ha. Okay.
Beans, go out.
First question. Ano ang Tagalog sa color orange?
Oh my God. This is from MGI. Tito D. No, color, the Tagalog for color orange, I should know this, is... Oh no.
Tawa si Vince.
Vince? Can I call a friend?
No.
Can I call a friend at all?
No. Si Krisha din tawa ng tawa. Dalandan daw. Loko-loko talaga si Vince, dalandan daw.
Orange. I can spell orange. Tagalog for orange is... Ano naman Tagalog for orange?
Oo naman. Na-research ko na yan, kaya alam ko na.
Bakit orange?
Tinanong kasi sa akin yan nung isang araw, Tito D, anong Tagalog sa orange? Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko din alam, hindi ko rin siya nasagot. Kaya nag-research ako.
Okay. Tagalog.
Excuse.
Oh no. I don't think anyone has ever told
Sabi
me.
ni Vince, kahit ako nahihirapan.
Oh, diba?
Games lang naman yan. So,
do I get any hints?
Hindi siya patalinuhan.
Wala bang hint?
Sige, may hint. Letter K ang simula sa Tagalog.
K. Orange.
Ay, hindi ko pakipakita na sagot ni... Naku, nakapag-research na si Vince na ano niya sa'yo.
Can I Google?
Okay, time is up.
What is it?
Ayan ang tamang sagot, sabi ni Jenny Bawal.
Hell?
Kahel? Sabi din ni Vince, Kahel.
Hell.
Kahel. Si Justin Ray Kahel.
Okay, but you didn't know it either before, so that makes me feel a little bit better.
Laro lang naman yon, kaya hindi ko bawasan yan.
International eh.
Nakakatuwa. Lag pa ka na sa Grand International. Hindi na kita ilalagay sa NG. Ay, tawa si Vince.
Pinahirapan mo talaga ako.
Next.
Oh my God, isang kulay pa ba to?
Next question is...
Pagkain.
May ano naman to, ay may pamimilian.
Okay.
Is bamboo a tree, flower, grass, fruit?
Is bamboo a tree, flower, plant, or fruit? That's the choices, right? Tree,
yes,
flower.
Tree, flower, grass, fruit.
I would like to say it's a tree.
Wrong. Galing talaga. Si Vince, nag-research agad. Ayan ang sagot ni Vince.
Tree, but people say bamboo tree. No?
Yes, but bamboo is not a tree. It's a grass.
Really? Okay, well, I'm learning something.
Dalawa lang, talihin mo. Isa na lang.
Gosh. Okay, Miss Intercon. Na hindi pala, 26 pala.
Enter ko na lang.
Overage na ako, Tito D dyan.
Overage ka na doon. Pero sabi ni Vince, natawa ako dito.
Vince, bakit mo hindi ako, sinabihan?
Games lang naman yan.
Ako.
Hindi ko ginawa yan sa lahat ng mga na-interview ko, yung laro yan. Sa'yo pa lang.
Talaga ka, hell? I did not know that. I'm serious.
Now you know it.
Yeah, so
last question.
Fingers crossed.
Anong Tagalog sa Coke?
RC Cola. Coke?
Coke.
Coca-Cola. Meron mo Tagalog for Coke? Soda?
Si Justine, tama yung sagot niya, grass. Sa Coke naman tayo.
Coke. What is the Tagalog?
Anong Tagalog sa Coke?
Coke.
Siguro alam ni Vince ko anong Tagalog sa Coke. Ay, walang sagot si Vince.
Coke? Anong Tagalog sa Coke? Can I get a hint? Like first letter?
Parang walang letter akong nakita eh.
Oh my! Coke lang din siya, no? Coke.
Wala pong Tagalog sa Coke kasi po yung Coke is a brand name.
I said Coke talaga,
Brand name. It should be soft drinks.
Soft drinks. I said
Kaya
RC
lang
Coke.
sa soft drinks, pag tinanong kita ng soft drinks, anong Tagalog naman sa soft drinks?
Malambot na inom. Charot.
Lalo akong inubo doon.
Sabi soft drinks eh. Soft drinks. And what is the Tagalog for soft drinks?
For soft drinks, tama naman yon. Malamig na inumin. Or malambot. Actually, yung nakita ko kagabi is malambot na inumin.
Oh, diba?
Or banayad na inumin.
At least meron
Pero ang tanong ko kasi Coke.
But I said, there's Coke.
Yung Coke kasi is a brand name. So wala siyang Tagalog sa Coke. Sabi ni Vince, yes, 1 point. So Miss Intercontinental siya, overage naman siya doon.
Tito D naman.
Hindi wala din siyang crown kasi overage siya doon.
Babawi ako, promise, sa kahel.
Oy, nag-enjoy ka ba?
Yes, thank you so much, Tito D, for this very fun activity. Na-test din yung Tagalog ko.
Of course, para sa iyo.
Thank you so much.
Do you have anyone to thank with in this journey?
I have so many people to thank, just because they've been with me from the very beginning of my Binibining Pilipinas journey. So thank you first and foremost to Justine Mermaids, because I know you guys are watching right now. So thank you for all your love and support with my journey always. I love you guys so much. Thank you to Padada Davao del Sur, my beloved province, for still backing me up behind all of this. And of course to my team, my mentors, and everyone who has supported me from 2015 up until now. I am eternally grateful for each and every one of you, and I wish all the best for you guys to stay safe, and hopefully we can get through this once and for all, and that we can see each other soon and have that human connection again, because I really miss it. Please continue to follow me on my journey and my social media pages, and don't hesitate to reach out as well. So thank you, Tito D, then, for this interview, for giving the people a chance to know me a little bit more, and for teaching me more Tagalog.
Of course, you are welcome to Tito D TV.
Yes.
Anytime.
Thank you so much. I had an amazing time.
Yes, may bagong pasok. Batiin lang natin.
Hello, ako si
Cesar.
Thank you for watching.
Okay. You can also promote your social media, by the way. Nabanggit mo na
As
din kanina, pero you can say, if you wanted to say your account.
so my IG Instagram handle is Justine Felizarta, and my Facebook as well is Justine Felizarta. So it's how you see it on the bottom here.
Yeah. And you can also promote your journey in Binibining Pilipinas.
Yeah, so please continue to support me. But Binibining 17, Davao del Sur. So we usually have photos Binibining Pilipinas page. So please like, share, and comment on my photos, and I'll try my best to also reach back to you. Thank you so much for all your support.
Si friendship pala itong ako si Cesar, sabi niya. Sarbot di bida friendship, support lang ako. Late ka na.
It's never too late. Thank you so much.
Sa bagay. May humabol din.
Oh, thank you, Rocky. It's
Diba?
good life here too.
Didly beautiful ka daw.
I'm like sweating from that 3 questions that you had. Pinawis talaga ako. Thank you, Jerry.
From Beans.
I am Justine Felizarta, and I am your Binibining Pilipinas Grand International 2021. You didn't get orange.
Yan! Oh, di ba? Perfect.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much also, Justine, for visiting here on TQD TV and for allowing me to have interview with you. May nakita ko may hawig ka daw kay Jolia Montes. Artista yon, sabi ni Rowell.
Before, yes. Actually, I've gotten a lot of kahawigs. So I'm so honored kasi ang gaganda ng mga ka-lookalikes ko.
Si Dandri. Hello, friendship.
Hello, Dan Rev. Kamusta?
Mga pahabol. So maraming salamat sa pagbisita mo sa Tito D TV, and you are always welcome here on Tito D TV. And thank you so much also sa lahat ng mga fans mo.
Yes, thank you.
Anong tawag ulit? Mermaid.
The mermaids. Yes, Justine's mermaids.
Yes. So maraming salamat for visiting Tito D TV. At bago natin putulin ang ating live, I am happy to announce that you are now part of Tito D TV family.
Thank you so much. I am very honored.
Warm welcome to you.
Yay! Thank you!
Yes. Alam ni Vince yan, maarte ako. Medyo selective ako kasi baka makatarayan ko kasi pag nakausap ko. So hanggat maaari, hindi ako basta-basta nag-a-accept. So alam ni Vince yun.
Super flattered to be part of Tito D's family. Diba?
Saka syempre, pag family ko, dapat close tayo.
Diba? Dapat close, kagandahan.
Yes, di ba? So thank you so much talaga. May humabol pa, batiin lang natin.
Hi, Charles. Maraming salamat. Oh my gosh, I love these comments. Nakakakilig.
Sabi ni Justin, pareho daw kayo ng name.
Yes, I saw that. Hi, Justine. We are very strong, independent women.
Yeah. Okay. So maraming salamat po muli sa inyong lahat sa tumutok dito sa Tito D TV. At ito po ang ating binibini, number 17, Justine Felizarta. Sana po ay suportahan nyo sa kanyang journey sa Binibining Pilipinas 2021. Ngayon na po itong April 17.
Yes, so watch out for it, guys.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Magkita-kita muli tayo sa susunod natin na live interview. Abangan nyo kung sino mga susunod natin na i-interviewin.
Sige.
Bye! Thank you so much.